Guys, Artosis here with the CasterMuse Star League Season 4, and this is a round of 16 match from Group B, and it is Action, one of the strongest Zergs in the world, kind of underrated, generally has very good ASL runs, going up against, in my opinion, currently the best Protoss out there in Best. Well, this should be a good one. It's on Windbreak Ridge. A newer map that really, this is the first time it's being used at a very high level. We can talk a little bit about it. You see this spore here. This is so when Zerg expands over here, the creep actually reaches out and connects to the spore so that you can build your sunken colonies up in this area. I know that you see bones here, but this is buildable terrain. And then, of course, you have the NORAD 2 downed on both sides to make a smaller choke that you can defend. So anyways, it's a kind of cool map. We've had some pretty good games here so far. Looking forward to seeing how these two match up. I actually think that this is a great match because I always think of Action as a late game Zerg, right? This is a player that you're kind of expecting to try to go up and get into that end game tech. He's really known for great defiler play, great macro, and that type of thing. And then over on Best side, he's the same, right? This is a macro Protoss through and through. Well, he does open up here with the gateway, and it probably will be a gateway expansion, putting some zealot pressure in. Notice the probe going right through the center. You see those eggs there. That just kind of makes it so you can't send big units through the center of the map too quickly. Only very small ones can. And up comes the probe for the scout. Action, just going for his own expansion there pretty quickly. And Best's going to scout what's going on. All right. So everything looking pretty normal so far. No big rush or anything. Of course, some pressure from Best, and we'll see what he can get done with that. Looks like the spawning pool will be going down. And yeah, well, I mean, you can't really tell too much at this point. But yeah, it's, you know, it's a tough group overall. I gotta mention Sock and Miso both in this group, and I think these two players are actually a little bit favored over them. So it's kind of a tough first round within the group as well, considering that one of them will have to go through the loser bracket if both of them are to advance. So just continuing to scout here some with that probe. We have the drone coming out. Looks like it wants to go ahead and make the third hatchery. And I mean, yeah, just all very standard play coming out of Action thus far. The Zealot is coming across the map. And a Nexus coming up for Best. Yeah, all right. So let's see what damage he can get done. Finally going to get a little bit of action here. Zealot coming down. Let's watch that micro up and close. He has damaged the one drone so far. See if he can get any more hits here. Two Zealot hits and two probe hits actually end up killing a drone. That's why you actually have these grouped together. We see he already has that one hit in the drone, but it is starting to heal. Goes behind the minerals. And of course, a probe hit and two Zealot hits kill a Zergling. So like, you really change a lot of math having the probe. And ooh, he does target down the probe very quickly. And that would be exactly why, because it does make it so more efficient for the Zealot. But the Zealot running away from these Zerglings, pretty good running so far, but not dealing that much damage. He has forced a few Lings out. Best just doing circles right now against the Mineron, trying to get a drone kill. Of course, a drone kill worth a lot more than these Zerglings. The drone does get pulled by Action. Action with a good amount of Lings here. Should be able to get a trap on this Zealot. Yeah, some very nice micro from him so far, boxing that Zealot out. And it looks like the Zealot is going to end here with only a single kill. So a strong kill there from Action. Now, he is adding some Zerglings in. Quite a few Zerglings. This is going to be a massive counterattack. And honestly, Best doesn't look like he's going to be quite ready for it. He only harassed with one Zealot. He has three at the ramp. But this is a Cybernetics core making. He doesn't have a forge at all. He only has the one gateway. And that is a lot of Zerglings coming across. It looks like he brings some back. Yeah, this is basically a Zergling all-in. There's almost no drones for Action. Only 11 drones out right now. And we might get this game decided very, very quickly indeed. All right, more Lings being made still. Look at that. Zergling speed is on the way as well. He only shows the initial set of Lings to the Zealots. There's nothing out on the map for Best, so he just doesn't know. Now, he does start a forge after his Stargate, so a very greedy opener. And I mean, you're not going to be able to get cannons up before this game gets decided, I think. Look at this. Oh, he's bringing a drone drill as well. He utilizes this Overlord to send those drones all stacked up on a drill, and he's going to be able to stop them on these. Best knows now what's going on. He's pulling back these Zealots, but the drones do help those Lings to get up, and the surface area is immense here. A ton of damage being dealt. The probes being pulled up to fight as well, but it shouldn't be enough. Action really has chosen a wonderful all-in here and has killed off all of the units and the probes as well. GG is called. That was too quick. Let's go into the next round right away. All right. I mean, that last game was just too quick. So here, have another one. So Action advances from that best of one up to the winner match. Best, of course, still alive in it, but here we go. It's going to be Action in the top left, going up against Miso in the top right. Two very different Zerg players going to be going at it here. Miso, I always characterize as a very aggressive Zerg player. This is a guy, he's, in fact, in a lot of ways, I feel like he's the opposite of Action. He kind of gets teased for his play style. He is highly aggressive. He's a very good player, and he makes it into things like ASL at a pretty reasonable rate. And then you have Action, who's much more of a macro Zerg. Like, he will cheese, though, as you saw. And, of course, Miso will go into macro games from time to time. But Action in that last one definitely pulling a fast one on Best. Best just didn't get any additional recon out, and the Masslings were able to run him over. So now we're in a Zerg vs. Zerg. And of course, Zerg vs. Zerg is definitely a matchup that can be very, very fast. It's one that I think the aggressive player has a pretty good shot in overall. But let's take a look at what we've got here. Looks like this for Action is just a 9 pool. And then over on Miso's side, it's actually an overpool. So Overlord into the spawning pool. So slightly higher economy, I think, here for Miso. So maybe a slight edge, but this isn't one of the big build order edges that can occur, such as, you know, like a 9 pool against a 12 pool or something like that, right? I don't think that we're going to see that big of a difference, but we'll see. Now, the map is Shakura's Temple. This map currently on the ladder, and I think it's a fantastic map. It's really a lot of fun. Kind of a difficult one to play, I feel like, as well, for everyone, right? Like, you have so many bases around the sides of the map. Of course, a lot of that won't come into play in Zerg vs. Zerg. You're going to have a maximum of 1 expansion in 99% or more of Zerg vs. Zerg games. But let's take a look. Of course, with that 9 pool, Action gets his Lings out very quickly and is going for a very, very quick layer here. He'll be rushing up to Mutas, no doubt about it. Over on the other side, basically the same thing that we see here from Miso. You do see that he was up an additional drone for a little tiny bit, and that's kind of the difference between the 9 pool and overpool, right? Like, you're going to have just slightly, maybe a tiny edge as far as the drones go. So, yeah. We'll see if Miso's able to utilize that at all. Now, notice that Action puts his Lings across the ramp. He does want to defend this. I'm sure he has more Lings making, yeah. Because he does need to stop these Lings coming up. But he leaves 2 out. And those 2 out are actually for a counterattack later on. He's put them in such a location. This is an area you would just... In this game, you will never go here as Miso. You will never, ever see this. This is a worthless area. In fact, basically everything below, like, here is worthless. Because Zerg vs. Zerg is so highly aggressive, the rest of the map just isn't going to be used. So you see, it's going to be like Ling battles and everything, and he's just waiting these Lings to try to sneak them up at a later time. Now, he might run across this Overlord's vision. That would kind of be a big deal if he does that, because then all of his planning here kind of goes away. So we'll see if he actually does that, and he is going to run right underneath that Overlord. That is a huge catch for me. So because moves like this are actually super powerful in Zerg vs. Zerg. Just 2 Zerglings can ruin your economy if they get in. Now, we do have some scuffles coming over here. Action is actually attacking down the ramp against more Lings. So he's not going to be able to win that. Maybe... Okay, he actually... There gets to be a cancel over here. And his 2 Lings are going to get in. He did beat the Lings of Miso. So kind of an interesting play there, right? Like Action forced some fighting over here and then broke in with these Lings. Now we do have that Spire almost finished. The Spire almost finished as well for Action. But with these Lings coming out, it doesn't look like Action should really get more damage done. There is a Sunken going up for Miso. So they're actually at the same drone count right now. Couple mutas being made against 3 mutas being made. Yeah, it's an interesting game. It looks very, very close at the moment. Just that additional muta, the only big difference right now. But of course, we see that Miso has the extra gas bank, so they actually have within like 20 gas of each other overall mined this game, which is what you really got to look at. Like maybe we get 1 more muta right now, but eventually Miso's going to be able to buy that, and you can't really increase the speed of your gas mining here. Really, you can only do it by taking that expansion. So Miso, once again, tries to take this expansion. Action coming across the map with these mutas. Of course, you want to kill every little thing you see. The supplies are so low. 20 supply. Like, if you can kill a Zergling, it's worthwhile. If you can get an Overlord, it's huge. If you can kill a muta, oh my god, gigantic. Now, Action is actually sending some Overlords down the map, which is kind of interesting. He might be doing this to watch for flanks. Because, again, this part of the map is so useless, you're not likely to see units down there unless they're trying to do something sneaky. So I feel like that's probably what those Overlords are for. He does have a group of 5 mutas right now flying towards Miso. Miso on 3 mutas and a couple Scourge. But, again, notice he has a gas bank. He can absolutely reach that mutalist count. He's just right now trying to spend his money on some other things like that hatchery. Now, Action coming in and taking down this Overlord. That's a big move. Supply cap hit here. And of course, you don't have that much money in a Zerg vs. Zerg. You don't even have many drones. We can look back here. It looks like a drone was picked off, which is a big deal as well. He's down to 8 drones. And actually, he just killed his own drone there, which is kind of hilarious because now the Lings come up and kill another drone, which is probably not what he wanted. But he's killing off some of his own units to be able to get more units out to attack with. Kind of an insane move. I can't believe we actually even caught that there, but good job, I guess, from Action. He is trying to get the kill right now. He is just going for it. Look at that, sacrificing his own drones to make just a few more units like these Scourge coming across the map. And, I mean, if you kill 2 of your own drones and win the game for it, that works. All right. Congrats to Action. I think he's got it, right? There's really nothing left here. 1 drone remains. Some Scourge pop out, but of course that is not going to be enough here. Well, he has a lot of Scourge, that's for sure. But he's actually still mining at home as well, so I don't think that this will end up being enough, right? What do we have for Miso other than those Scourge? Yeah, only 2 left over, and he will GG. Action wins game number 1 of the best of 3.